वेल जेंटलमैन, गुड मॉर्निंग। मैं हूं आपका दोस्त मदन सिंह एंड आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक टू यू अबाउट द ग्रेट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप। एक्चुअली मैं जा रहा था उज्जैन, विच इज़ अबाउट 80 kilometers from Indore and houses that famous temple of काल भैरव। पर रास्ते में मैंने सोचा रुक के एक कप कॉफ़ी पी मैंने, और आई थॉट आई शुड टॉक टू यू अबाउट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप, आप जानते हो, is one of the unique characters in the world. Donald Trump, आप जानते हो, is one of the unique characters in the world. And he's a man of action. He's a कर्म योगी. वो अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं या बुरा काम कर रहे हैं, that's not the point. The point is he's a कर्म योगी who believes in doing things. And he has already removed President Maduro of Venezuela, जो अब उनकी कस्टडी में है. He is being treated like a criminal and he has already faced the New York court. He has pleaded not guilty, but ये result नहीं होगा, because I can tell you the result is going to be that he is ultimately going to be found guilty and maybe given 30 or 40 years imprisonment, not less than that. Now the question arises कि what happens next? Donald Trump आगे क्या करेंगे? Now my point of view is that he's going to catch a few more leaders and put them behind bars. And he's going to start with Cuba. Cuba जो थी, आप जानते हो, in 62 there was a missile crisis with Russia, and in that time Russia agreed to withdraw the missiles under threat of the quarantine by the American Navy. But Nikita Khrushchev extracted a promise from America that he will not stabilize the Castro regime. Fidel Castro was the man in power at that time. Then his brother took over and they ruled for a good part of half a century. And America kept its promise. They didn't destabilize Cuba. But now situation has changed. Both the brothers are dead. And there's another gentleman who has come into power. And I think that old agreement is now not valid, because the Soviet Union has also collapsed. So I think his next target is going to be Cuba. And I was reading the other day that the Cubans were getting ready all their missiles on the beaches and all that, I mean, it's not going to have any effect at all. They were putting the X-300 missiles which have been given by Russia. You see, America is such a big power, just मैंने आपको बताया, the Cubans will not last more than 24 hours. And that is going to be the end of the story. The story is going to be over after that. So, but the question is, after Cuba has taken over, they're going to sort out Colombia, and then they are going to come to Iran. Now, Iran has been acting very big. I mean, I think they should have been more careful when you deal with America. And all along they were being held in check by the fact that they had at one stage taken almost the entire American embassy as hostage way back in 77. And Jimmy Carter then finally negotiated their release. It's a very sad story. And secondly, the Iranian leadership, which is dominated by Islamic clerics, mullahs, cannot see women rise up, and they have created women as a second-class citizen, and they thought they could survive the American sanctions and all that. But now there's the inflation, a tremendous inflation, 300 to 400%, and the people are unhappy. The women are unhappy, and now they've come out on the streets. They've come out on the streets, all of them. And Khomeini, the leader of the Iranian Republic, he doesn't know what the hell to do. I think the American threat has worked. Donald Trump had told the Iranian government that in case you fire even one bullet at the agitators who are peaceful and unarmed and only agitating for the removal of the regime, I will finish you forever. And the Iranian guards and all are now not firing. They dare not fire. They're damn scared, that Donald Trump may come and really finish us totally. He'll bloody make us, send us to the Stone Age. And Khomeini, I think, is now really scared and he wants to run away from Iran. So if Donald Trump goes through with his plan, he'll have Iran out very soon. And then, see, I'm not really concerned with the fact was good or bad. मैंने पहले भी आपको बताया था, in the last video which I had made, where he had captured Maduro, that I'm not concerned with the ethics. I only discuss the military aspects. And the military aspects of all these three countries which I told you, Cuba, Colombia and Iran, is entirely in favor of the Americans. And why? Because Russia and China, the so-called powers who can balance America, just don't have the guts, neither the wherewithal nor the strength to intervene against America. Now, you know, Venezuela was thinking that, well, we are going to be helped by the Russians. They gave them some missiles. Chinese gave them a lot of money, $100 billion, and they were investing in it. But all that became zero. When the Americans struck, the Chinese couldn't do a damn thing. They didn't even know the Americans were going to strike, and neither did the Russians. They didn't know what was going to happen, and so it was all over by the shouting. All over. Neither Russia nor China showed their face. And they could have done something. If they wanted to put pressure on America, the Chinese could have launched an invasion of Taiwan. But they did nothing. They kept sitting because they knew that if we launch an invasion over Taiwan, we'll get devastated. And the Chinese had not fought a war since last 45 years. Let's accept the fact. The last war they fought was against Vietnam, and the net was not very good. They couldn't make much of headway there. Zero headway. So that is a point we must bear in mind. And the Russians, of course, you're fighting for years, they couldn't beat Ukraine. With the third-rate power, as far as Europe is concerned, you've got all the sophisticated weapons, and the famed Red Army should have overrun Ukraine, but they haven't been due to so many years have elapsed. So there is the flaw in the ointment. Russia and China cannot intervene. And Maduro was mistaken that Russia will come on its side and he'll be able to stand up. He couldn't stand up. Both his legs were cut, and he's now sitting there and facing a trial in New York, and he's being treated like a common criminal. That's how he's being treated. You can't do anything about it. And now we come to the fourth character, of which I think Donald Trump is really pretty irritated, though he keeps on making statements. Mr. Modi is my friend, he's a very intelligent man, but look, behind that he's got a screwdriver ready, a dagger to put inside Modi. And I'm sorry that Mr. Modi has not been up to the mark as a great leader. Let's accept that fact. He didn't know how to deal with America. He didn't know how to deal with global politics. He didn't know how to deal with the Bangladesh situation. If America could have intervened in Venezuela, I see no reason why Modi could intervene when Hasina was being overthrown. That was another American plan to remove her, and the Americans were successful. That was the time Modi should have appealed, or rather decided that I will move into Bangladesh. And as a soldier, I can tell you, had there been a paradrop in Dhaka cantonment and captured the cantonment, the military leadership would have gone all over. But iske liye, you need guts, and I'm afraid Modi was found wanting there. And even now, I remember he had that press conference with Donald Trump, and in which Donald Trump had said, I've given complete freedom to Modi to act in Bangladesh. And Modi was looking off color totally. He didn't know what the hell to reply. He didn't reply anything at all. And when he came back, he didn't do anything in Bangladesh. He was thinking that Muhammad Yunus will be overthrown by Donald Trump. Why should Trump do it when Yunus is ready to give what Trump wanted? And St. Martin's Island is what he wanted, and that's been given to the Americans by Muhammad Yunus. And Muhammad Yunus had been parachuted there from America. He was a friend of the Clintons, and he was made the president, the caretaker head of the government in Bangladesh. And Bangladesh have been attacking Hindus and all that, and Modi has been silent. Just gives you an example, some attacks were there on the Christians by the Muslims in Nigeria, and Donald Trump carried out a bombing raid. Even 2 soldiers were killed in Syria, and the US Air Force, along with the Israelis, attacked 90 places there, or maybe 70. I mean, it's a huge number. So, gentlemen, you understand that great power politics is the projection of power, number one, and then the projection of will. And this where Modi has really slipped. He has been keeping his mouth shut. When the Indian prisoners were being brought in chains and handcuffs to India, those who were the illegal immigrants, he should have spoken out against it. He kept silent. And a conciliatory statement was made by Jai Shankar in the parliament. It's a very sad occurrence, I would say. And this is not the way things should be done. So, gentlemen, these are the four people I've been telling you who are in the sight of Donald Trump. And in case, of course, they turn turtle and suddenly start becoming pally with the Americans, things will be better. I think take a leaf out of the book of Pakistan, the way he's gone about it. Pakistan has gone about it in a wonderful manner. General Munir has placated himself before the emperor, that is Donald Trump, and Shahbaz Sharif is singing his praises. They recommended Donald Trump for the Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, and they have said that the credit for ending the war with India goes to Trump, and the way is correct. But here is Modi being a churlish man. He didn't realize that he is not a great power. And jab tak ye realization nahi aayegi, he should get into the thing and realize what actually has happened. He should try to improve the lot of the people, the GDP, by playing to the American lobby. America, the richest country in the world, it can help you. We are 143 in the list of 193 as far as the personal GDP is concerned. That means India is one of the poorest countries in the world. And Modi's aim should have been to lift India from that level, whether you are friends with America or whatever it may be. If you have to say, yes sir, 3 bags full to America, do it. You want to improve the lot of the people. But I don't think Modi is in that caliber, and I don't think he thinks the way I think. I think better to give 2 healthy foods to the Indian people and make the Indian health improvement than to go and try and show that I'm great power or something like that. What use is that? Unless you make everything of your own aircraft, your own fighters, your own tanks, and you can sustain and fight a battle. Like Russia has been able to sustain a battle only because they're making everything themselves. They could fight. India makes nothing. You got to start importing things from England or from America and Russia, and you think you're a great power? Well, I'm sorry, I have to use these hard words. I'm a man who spent a lot of time in the military, and I feel there's a lot to be done as far as the armed forces are concerned, and there's a need to do away with the Agniveer scheme, absolutely send it, lock, stock and barrel out, and we have to do away with the caste regiments also. And as far as India is concerned, I think the first thing to do is to do away with the caste system of recruitment. India will never proceed forward, mark my words, gentlemen, with meritocracy having been replaced by castocracy. That means you've got to select people on caste and not on merit. There's nothing like merit come and all that. That's got no relevance. You select everybody on merit and then see India move forward. But I think what is the aim of Ambedkar? He's a wonderful chap. But if you see his writings, he's mostly anti-Hindu. He's writing the anti-Hindu, anti-Gandhi. He also wrote against the Hindu gods. So you can say anything and keep on saying, and he made the constitution and he put in the 15% reservation, which was made into 49 or 50%. Who did that? Ambedkar didn't come and make it 50%. I think he said it should be 15 or 22%. That's about all. And the aim should be to finish that, not to expand that to 49%. So chances of India, gentlemen, going up look a little remote to me at the moment. And they are saying India will be a developed nation by 2047. I think there's no way, no chance. India 100 years behind China and the United States. Look at the way China. I've been to China. You see the development in Shanghai and you compare Bombay, nowhere. Well, gentlemen, Donald Trump is now going to go ahead and let's hope and see what happens. America is the power. I think Russia has thrown in the towel. Nobody's going to borrow from America. Whether they are right or wrong, ये तो कहने की बात है. There's an old saying in the Hindi language, जिसकी लाठी उसी की भैंस. I mean, anybody who has the lathi, the stick, owns the buffalo. Well, gentlemen, I hope you like my video. Share it with your friends. and I look for more association with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel also, comment, and I'll say goodbye. God bless, and take care.